What if I told you that thinking like a lawyer could help you win your next business negotiation, outsmart your competition, and solve problems most people can't even see coming? You don't need a law degree, you just need the right mental tools. After defending over 5,000 cases and studying how the sharpest legal minds think, I've discovered 10 books that will completely transform how you analyze, persuade, and strategize. And here's the crazy part. Most lawyers haven't even read half of these. Stick around because book number 7 will change how you negotiate forever. And the last one? Well, that one's mine. And I'll show you exactly how to use everything we covered today in real-world situations. I'm Santiago Cueto, board-certified international business law expert and best-selling author. Now, before we dive in, let me ask you this. Have you ever walked away from a negotiation knowing you left money on the table or felt like you were always one step behind in business discussions? Drop a yes in the comments if that's you, because by the end of this video, those days are over. And if you're already thinking like a chess master in business, hit that subscribe button because we're about to take it to the next level. The first book is The Art of War by Sun Tzu. So let's start with the granddaddy of strategic thinking. The art of war isn't just about ancient battles, it's about winning before the fight even begins. Sun Tzu says, all warfare is based on deception, but in legal thinking, it's about information advantage. I once used Sun Tzu's principle of choosing your battles to advise a client facing 3 different lawsuits. Instead of fighting all 3, we strategically settled 2 of them to concentrate our resources on the one that mattered most and won a 7-figure victory. The lesson? Pick your terrain, control the timing, and always know more about your opponent than they know about you. The next book is Poor Charlie's Almanac by Charles T. Munger. Charlie Munger calls it mental models. I call it thinking in 3D while everyone else thinks in 2D. Munger doesn't just think like an investor, he thinks like a psychologist, historian, and an engineer all at once. But here's what gets interesting. While Munger teaches you to think about multiple angles, our next book teaches you something potentially even more dangerous, how to recognize and use the psychological games people play. Keep watching because this next one is controversial. The next book is 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene. Some people say this book is manipulative. I say it's realistic. Robert Greene didn't invent power games, he just decoded them. And whether you like it or not, power dynamics are happening in every boardroom, courtroom, and negotiation table across the world. Law 15 says, crush your enemy totally. It sounds harsh, right? But in legal strategy, this means being thorough in your preparation, leaving no weak points for your opponent to exploit. It's not about being cruel, it's about being complete. Now, the next book is Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. After learning about power games, you need inner strength to play them ethically. Well, Marcus Aurelius was literally the most powerful man in the world when he wrote these private thoughts about staying grounded. During my toughest case, a $50 million dispute that lasted 3 years, I kept one of his quotes on my desk, and that is, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. It kept me focused when opposing counsel tried every intimidation tactic in the book. The next book is The Right Call by Sally Jenkins. Now, elite athletes and top lawyers face the same challenge, performing under extreme pressure with no do-overs. Sally Jenkins studied what separates champions from everyone else, and it's not just talent, it's mental conditioning. And speaking of pressure, wait until you hear about the negotiating technique in book number 7 that helped an FBI agent talk down armed terrorists. But first, let's talk about what separates good lawyers from great ones. The next book is Good to Great by Jim Collins. Now, Jim Collins discovered why some companies become legendary while others stay mediocre. His concept of confronting brutal facts is exactly what great lawyers do. They see reality clearly, not how they wish it was. Collins talks about the hedgehog concept, being the best in the world at one specific thing. In law, this means specializing deeply rather than spreading yourself thin. I focused on business litigation, and it's made all the difference. Now, book number 7 is Never Split the Difference by Chris Voss. Remember that FBI negotiation technique I mentioned earlier? Well, here it is. Chris Voss calls it tactical empathy, understanding your counterpart's emotions to influence their decisions. But here's the advanced move most people miss: the calibrated question. So instead of saying, "You need to give me a better price," you ask, "How am I supposed to do that?" See, it flips the problem back to them while making them feel in control. I've used this to negotiate million-dollar settlements, and it works because psychology beats logic every time. Now, the next book is Thinking Fast and Slow by Daniel Kahneman. Now, Daniel Kahneman won the Nobel Prize for proving that humans are predictably irrational. For lawyers, this is pure gold, because if you can predict how people think, you can influence how they decide. Judges give harsher sentences before lunch and lighter ones after eating. Kahneman's research shows that even experts are slaves to their biases. Once you know this, you can time your arguments, frame your evidence, and even schedule your meetings for maximum impact. Book number 9 is Thank You for Arguing by Jay Heinrichs. Now, Law is Persuasion and Thank You for Arguing is one of the clearest, most entertaining guides to the art ever written. Heinrichs takes you through the rhetorical tools used by history's greatest persuaders, from Aristotle to modern political strategists. For lawyers, this means learning how to frame arguments so they resonate, how to diffuse conflicts without conceding ground, and how to win over even the toughest audience. Whether you're speaking to a judge, a jury, or a skeptical business partner, these techniques will make your case stronger and more memorable. But here's the thing about all these books: they give you the theory. But if you could see exactly how to apply every single principle we've discussed in real high-stakes business disputes, that's where the final book comes in. And the 10th book is Winning Lawsuits in Florida by me. The first 9 books give you the mindset. My book shows you the playbook. While it draws from defending over 5,000 cases in Florida, the strategies work everywhere. Avoiding costly mistakes, building leverage early, and turning legal challenges into competitive advantages. These aren't theories. They're battle-tested strategies that have saved businesses millions in legal costs and helped them win disputes they thought were unwinnable. Now here's your challenge. Pick one book from this list and read it in the next 30 days. Then come back and tell me which insight hit you hardest. I guarantee it will change how you approach your next negotiation, business decision, or conflict. Now, if you want the complete playbook for applying these strategies in real business disputes, I've linked my book below. Hit subscribe if you want more videos on strategic thinking and legal strategy. And drop a comment telling me which book you're starting with. I read every single one. Now remember, the best lawyers don't just know the law, they know how to think, how to plan, and how to win. These books will give you these tools, whether you're running a business, leading a team, or negotiating the deal of your lifetime. See you in the next one.